Hello everyone. Welcome to the podcast, where we explore in a whole new way. Let's step into the exciting world of podcasts, where each video brings knowledge and unforgettable experiences. You've probably heard seemingly harmless phrases that carry unexpected weight. When I heard my girlfriend say to her friends that I was a useless man and not important, a storm of emotions erupted within me. Why could someone I love say such things? This story is not just about heartbreak but also about the journey of discovering my true worth amidst bitter words and betrayal. Join me on this surprising journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any new information. Now, let's get started. The narrator reflects on his 3-year relationship with his girlfriend, Chloe, which began as a blissful romance filled with shared dreams and mutual support. He recalls the joy of their early days, how they navigated the challenges of young adulthood together. However, as time passed, the reality of Chloe's financial struggles began to surface. Her parents, unable to assist with her college expenses, left her feeling anxious and overwhelmed, making it difficult for her to hold a job while managing her studies. Recognizing her plight, the narrator, in a position of financial stability, stepped in to help. He decided to pay for Chloe's college tuition and even took care of her car expenses, believing this support would strengthen their bond. To him, it was a demonstration of commitment and love. Yet, everything changed one fateful evening when the narrator accidentally overheard a phone conversation. Chloe, chatting with her friends, dismissed him as useless, revealing that she viewed him merely as a source of financial support. Her intention to break up with him after college cut deeper than he ever anticipated, leaving him reeling from the unexpected betrayal. This moment marked the turning point in their relationship, shattering the trust that had once flourished between them and setting the stage for a dramatic unraveling of their connection. Little did he know, this was just the beginning of a tumultuous journey that would test his resolve and reshape his life forever. The turning point occurs when the narrator accidentally overhears his girlfriend mock him during a phone conversation with friends. Hidden just outside her bedroom door, he hears her laugh dismissively as she recounts her day. She refers to him as useless and only valuable for financial support, expressing intentions to break up with him after college. The words pierce through the narrator like a dagger, shattering the image he had of their relationship. He had poured his heart and finances into supporting Chloe, believing he was helping her build a brighter future. This revelation devastates the narrator, leading to a deep sense of betrayal. The love he once felt begins to twist into a feeling of humiliation. How could she so easily disregard their shared experiences, the struggles they had faced together, and the sacrifices he had made? The laughter that had once filled their time together now feels like a mockery, echoing in his mind. He feels his heart sink, realizing that the foundation of trust and support he had believed they shared was nothing more than an illusion. As he retreats from the doorway, the weight of her words lingers, turning into a simmering anger and sadness. The narrator's commitment to Chloe begins to waver, as the reality of her true feelings comes crashing down around him. This moment ignites a transformation within him, setting the stage for a painful and inevitable decision about their future. The narrator decides to stop financially supporting his girlfriend without informing her. He resolves to wait for her to notice the missing payments, creating tension as her anxiety grows. Days turn into weeks, and the silence between them becomes palpable. Chloe, once carefree and full of plans for the future, begins to show signs of distress. She frets about her tuition and the car, her usual confidence replaced with a sense of unease. When she finally confronts him about the tuition and car payments, her voice shakes with worry. The narrator takes a deep breath, feeling a mixture of anger and resolve. He reveals that he has stopped paying due to her disparaging remarks. Chloe's face falls, and he can see the shock wash over her. She attempts to downplay her words, claiming it was a joke, but the hurt in the narrator's heart is too profound to overlook. "Please forgive me," she pleads, her eyes wide with desperation, but the narrator feels the weight of betrayal suffocating any remnants of affection. The facade of their relationship crumbles as he realizes he can no longer tolerate her manipulation. The emotional distance that once felt insurmountable now seems like a relief. With each passing moment, he resolves to cut ties and reclaim his life, determined not to allow her to devalue him any longer. Following the breakup, Chloe's attempts to reconcile intensify, revealing her desperation. She bombards the narrator with messages and calls, pleading for his attention. Each notification on his phone becomes a reminder of their shattered relationship, and her insistence wears on his nerves. Despite his determination to move on, she refuses to let go. Her efforts escalate to obsessive behaviors. One morning, he finds a bouquet of flowers left on his doorstep, accompanied by a note filled with apologies and promises to change. The next day, he discovers his car covered in sticky notes, each inscribed with heartfelt pleas for forgiveness. "I miss you," one reads, while another states, "I'll do better, I promise." The narrator feels a mix of anger and pity, grappling with the unsettling reality of her fixation. Chloe's behavior becomes increasingly concerning as she begins to show up in places the narrator frequents, including his favorite coffee shop and the gym. Each encounter leaves him feeling uneasy, trapped in the web of her obsession. A friend confides in him that Chloe has been spreading rumors about him, claiming he cheated and manipulated her. The narrator is taken aback, realizing he is now facing unwarranted scrutiny at work. His boss mentions an anonymous complaint against him, adding to the weight of betrayal he feels. This toxic cycle of obsession and falsehoods further fuels his determination to reclaim control over his life, igniting a fire within him to confront the chaos Chloe has unleashed. Chloe's behavior becomes increasingly concerning as she shows up in places the narrator frequents, unsettling him. He spots her at the local grocery store, her eyes scanning the aisles as if searching for him. Each encounter sends a jolt of anxiety through him, as he feels the walls of his life closing in. She no longer feels like a lost love, instead, she has morphed into a relentless shadow, trailing him wherever he goes. A friend informs the narrator that Chloe has been spreading rumors about him, claiming he cheated and manipulated her. The narrator's heart sinks as he grapples with the implications of her words. He never imagined she would stoop so low, turning the truth upside down to cast him in a negative light. The betrayal cuts deep, igniting a wave of anger and disbelief. He becomes increasingly paranoid, constantly looking over his shoulder and feeling the weight of Chloe's accusations looming over him. At work, the atmosphere shifts. His colleagues whisper behind closed doors, and his boss mentions an anonymous complaint against him, suggesting someone has been spreading lies. The narrator's reputation hangs in the balance, and he realizes the extent of Chloe's obsession and the lengths she is willing to go to manipulate the narrative. Faced with this unsettling reality, the narrator understands that he must take action. The emotional toll of Chloe's behavior transforms into a burning determination to reclaim his life and restore his peace of mind. The battle has only just begun, and he knows he cannot allow her to dictate the terms of his existence any longer. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, the narrator files a police report for stalking. The weight of Chloe's obsessive behavior and the rumors she spread finally compels him to take action. He gathers evidence of her increasingly erratic actions, including screenshots of her messages, photos of the flowers, and the sticky notes she left on his car. Each piece of evidence serves as a reminder of the turmoil she has caused in his life. In addition to the police report, he consults a lawyer for additional protection. The legal advice reinforces his resolve, outlining the steps he can take to safeguard himself from Chloe's relentless pursuit. The narrator feels a flicker of empowerment as he understands that he has options, that he can fight back against the emotional turmoil she has inflicted on him. As he navigates the legal process, he becomes more aware of his emotional struggle. The anger and betrayal that once consumed him slowly transform into determination. He acknowledges the need to reclaim his life, not just from Chloe but also from the lingering doubts and fears that have plagued him since their breakup. With each passing day, he grows stronger and more resolute. He begins to focus on self-care, rediscovering passions and interests that had taken a back seat during his relationship. This newfound strength fuels his desire to move forward, free from Chloe's manipulation and chaos. He knows that taking action is just the beginning of a long journey toward healing and reclaiming his identity. The narrator decides to turn the tables on Chloe, adopting her manipulative tactics. After weeks of silence, he establishes contact, crafting messages that lead her to believe he is reconsidering their relationship. This calculated move gives him a sense of control he hadn't felt since their breakup. Each communication is carefully orchestrated, designed to draw her back into his orbit while maintaining an air of detachment. He suggests meeting at a discreet cafe, presenting it as a chance to discuss their future. As he prepares for the encounter, a mix of apprehension and excitement courses through him. This meeting feels like a pivotal moment, a chance to confront the chaos she has created and regain his power. When Chloe arrives, her face lights up with hope, unaware of the intentions simmering beneath his calm exterior. Feigning interest in reconciling, the narrator engages her in conversation, listening to her apologies and promises to change. He nods along, masking the tumult of emotions churning inside him. Chloe, visibly relieved, leans in closer, believing that she has successfully pulled him back into her life. But the narrator remains focused, holding on to a sense of control. He knows that this encounter is not about rekindling their relationship, it's about addressing the hurt she caused him and preparing for the climactic confrontation that awaits them at a more formal dinner later. With the pieces of his revenge plan in place, he feels a sense of liberation as he prepares to finally confront her about her past behavior, fully aware of the emotional storm that is about to unfold. During a carefully orchestrated dinner at a fancy restaurant, the narrator finally reveals his true feelings. The atmosphere is charged with tension, the soft lighting and clinking of glasses serving as a stark contrast to the emotional storm brewing between them. As they sit across from each other, he watches Chloe, her excitement palpable, unaware of the confrontation that is about to unfold. With a steady voice, he begins to confront her about her past behavior. "You mocked me, Chloe," he states, his tone firm yet controlled. "You called me useless and talked about breaking up after college. Do you have any idea how that made me feel?" He watches her expression shift from joy to confusion, the color draining from her face as the reality of her actions sinks in. He continues, expressing the hurt she caused him, how her betrayal shattered his trust and turned their relationship into a source of pain. "You manipulated me, using my love as a means to an end," he adds, emphasizing the depth of his feelings. Chloe tries to interrupt, to explain, but he holds up a hand, cutting her off. "I gave everything to support you, and you repaid me with mockery and deceit," he declares, delivering a harsh rejection. The devastation in her eyes confirms the impact of his words. For the first time, she realizes the extent of her manipulation and how it has led to her downfall. The weight of the moment hangs heavily between them, marking the end of their toxic dynamic and the narrator's reclamation of his power. After the confrontation, the narrator learns that Chloe's professional life is unraveling due to her actions. Rumors of her obsession and the chaos she created have begun to circulate, impacting her reputation and relationships. As he reflects on their time together, he recognizes that he has finally reclaimed control over his life and emotional well-being, free from her manipulation. The emotional burden he carried for so long begins to lift, replaced by a sense of relief and newfound strength. He dedicates himself to self-improvement, focusing on personal growth and rebuilding connections with friends and new people. The support he receives from those around him becomes a source of healing, reminding him that he is worthy of love and respect outside the toxic remnants of his past relationship. In the weeks that follow, the narrator embraces a fresh start. He dives into hobbies he had neglected and pursues new interests that ignite his passion for life. Each day serves as a testament to his resilience, reinforcing the lessons learned from the ordeal. He acknowledges that while the scars of betrayal may remain, they are now symbols of his strength rather than reminders of his weakness. As he moves forward, he vows never to allow anyone to devalue him again. The transformation he has undergone fills him with hope and determination, propelling him into a future where he can build healthy, supportive relationships grounded in mutual respect and trust. The journey toward healing has just begun, but he feels empowered to face whatever comes next. The narrator expresses a sense of relief and newfound freedom, vowing never to allow anyone to devalue him again. the experience with Chloe has been transformative, forcing him to confront painful truths about love, trust, and self-worth. As he reflects on their relationship, he recognizes the lessons learned amidst the chaos. He has gained a clearer understanding of his boundaries and the importance of self-respect. In the aftermath of their toxic relationship, he feels empowered to pursue a life filled with healthier connections. The bonds he rekindles with friends and the new acquaintances he makes serve as reminders of the joy that exists outside the shadows of manipulation and deceit. He has come to appreciate the value of authenticity and the strength that comes from standing up for oneself. The narrator acknowledges that healing is not linear. There will be moments of doubt and lingering pain. Yet, he feels a sense of hope as he moves forward, understanding that every step taken is part of a greater journey toward personal growth. As he steps into this new chapter of his life, he carries with him the wisdom gained from his past. The scars of betrayal no longer hold him captive. Instead, they serve as a testament to his resilience. With a renewed sense of purpose, he looks to the future with optimism, committed to fostering relationships built on mutual respect and trust, knowing he has the strength to navigate whatever challenges lie ahead. Thank you for reading this story. See you in a new and better story.